You're listening to the Late Night Playset Podcast. Tonight's episode of Late Night Playset is brought to you by Los Angelo Living, losangeloliving.com.
How's it going, Jay Ryan? How's it going, Nicole? Here I am. I promised you that I'd bring you in through my new listing at 4719 San Sebastian in Woodland Hills, in the Heights section of Woodland Hills. Come check it out. Perfect home for entertaining and for a family. You have 4 bedrooms, 4 baths downstairs with a family room area. And then upstairs is all of either the entertaining and the hanging out. You have a formal living room, a sitting room, awesome kitchen, office space or a 5th bedroom, a reading room, and then everything opens up to this. Like, check out this spectacular view. And come check out this patio too. Look at this view. I mean, how sick is this view? It's spectacular, gorgeous. You can hang out here all day. Now, whether you're staying home working, whether you're staying home just to hang out, entertaining, this is just a fabulous spot. There's a phenomenal Montalpi outdoor kitchen, sink, refrigerator, full 4 burner, and then you have a spectacular pool hangout area. Check out our virtual open house when we post it, and if you guys want, you could come into our Zoom room and we could go through the open house together and discuss all of the other amazing features of this home. Thanks so much. Take care.
Yeah, welcome back to the Late Night Playset Podcast. I'm going to get used to saying that. Never, ever. Welcome back to Tuesdays with Tory, and my name is Jay Ryan. Mrs. Ryan is on assignment. We will have Tory in here in just a second. Tonight we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. First of all, tonight is Tuesday, July 7th, 2020, and as I mentioned, it is Tuesdays with Tory, and this is our first Tuesdays with Tory that'll actually be on a Tuesday, so I feel all sorts of accomplished. I'll feel really accomplished if he actually gets on the line here in a minute. In the meantime, though, how was everyone's July 4th, everyone? My friend at home, just you, one person. We didn't do anything here, but the whole place was blowing up. I don't know what it's like where you are. There's a fireworks. I think fireworks are illegal in Los Angeles County anyway, but it does seem to be that all bets are off lately. The fireworks were all over the place. I'm sure everyone has seen the memes that have been all about the interwebs, showing nothing but landscape. But this is the universal sign for fireworks. Tori, if you can hear me, buddy, call in here anytime. Come on in. Otherwise, anybody, oh gosh, I should see if we are indeed live, because we had a little snafu in the beginning there. I think we're good here. If anyone does join us, we will see you. Oh, I see there's a bitrate problem with the stream. Well, hopefully this will work out. I can't. It's already too much for me. I can't get involved in a bitrate problem right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, what I should do is maybe check my phone, because Tori's always good about that. Don't mind me while I text text him. We did our first cut downs. I've been calling them cut downs, but somebody else told me that's not the right term. But segments. There he is. I clicked on the link. Do I need to FaceTime you? It's so funny. Oh, maybe it is my fault. Join room. It is my fault. It's always my fault. There he is. It was my fault,
What's
buddy.
up?
It was my fault. It's always my fault.
I was like, are we
Let's
doing
see. Can
the
we hear you?
FaceTime thing again, or are we back to this, or what's going on? So, cool.
Yeah, we can hear you. All right. Well, everybody else can hear you, and I can hear you now. Hi,
Awesome.
brother. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
Did you catch any of my floundering there? It was great. So
did. It was
then
awesome.
the other thing I don't have to talk about is this.
That's cool, man. I was actually going to ask how your 4th was because we didn't really talk about it.
I'm glad. I was just waffling over fireworks. Here we go. Bring us both in here. There you go. Oh man, I'm going to say that you might have gotten some sun over your 4th of July. Is that possible?
Did. Yeah. I was out on the lake pretty much all weekend, so it worked out well. It's nice.
You look fantastic. I was just telling my friend at home a second ago that we didn't do much. I mean, Los Angeles is kind of weird. I mean, I guess everywhere. I guess the world is weird right now. But we didn't do anything but listen to all of the fireworks and then watch the memes the next day of nothing but Los Angeles.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, we had a nice little. They put on a little private like fireworks display here, just for kind of like the residents of the lake. They shoot them off over this island.
Just
in the
lake community.
So, yeah, just for the lake community is nice. Yeah, all the other like city ones around here canceled. So this was pretty much the only ones that was going on. Pittsburgh canceled all of their fireworks displays. So it was an especially busy weekend here at the lake. So
all of the official stuff was canceled here too, but people seemed to take it into their own hands, and then it was just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been kind of, there's always sort of, what would you call it, bootleg fireworks, unofficial.
Oh yeah.
But other than
that's kind of surprising
I think,
they would do that there. Like, that's weird they would do that there with like the fire warnings and stuff. Like, surely that's like kind of a major deal in LA, I would think. I mean, around here it's not as big of a deal because we don't really have a fire season per se. But there, I would think that's kind of a big deal. Like, you wouldn't want people shooting off fireworks out in the canyons or anything. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, it's the videos I was watching were like over the city, but still, it's your point is a good one.
Yeah, kind of a common sense thing, but who knows? What do I know?
So while we didn't, go do fireworks or anything like that, the most American thing I could think to do was watch Ford versus Ferrari, of course. We're going to get into that in a few minutes, but a couple things that I know that my buddy Tory and I are going to be talking about tonight. For everybody else, we're going to be talking about our favorite film movies, our favorite car movies or car films. Have another drink, Jay. Gee whiz.
What's in that? Can I have some?
Felt it before. I was like, are you drunk? I haven't been drunk in years. I haven't had a drink in years. It felt it today. I think I got a little nervous when I was like, "Where's my buddy?" I don't have anything to talk about alone.
I can't do this alone, man. You can't have shake and bake without bake and shake. So
I watched this movie and it was good. So we're going to talk about our favorite car movies. We've got to get our shit together. And then I want to touch base on the stuff we didn't get to last week, which was the automotive youth, I'm calling it. But kids in Porsche, kids in cars. I feel like the next gen is on the scene and they're already doing stuff. And they're younger than I was when I was farting around with it. So it's pretty
Right.
cool. And I know you've got some stuff. I loaded it into the system this time. We've got some visual aids as well. Then if anybody jumps on, I think maybe you and I will halfway through or something jump on or whenever you want, actually. I trust you on this. Jump on the Instagram as well. Did you want to get on the social media?
Yeah,
so that we could
take some questions and stuff. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I trust you on. This is where Tory puts his producer hat on because Jay is just the jello in the desk. Tell me what to do.
Well, we'll find out tonight, won't we? If we don't get any questions, then it's back to square one. But it's worth a shot. I don't know. We'll find out.
I love that you always wear your LA hat on this show.
I miss LA, man. Like, I haven't been in a while, and obviously now that I'm not flying anymore, like, I don't even get out there for overnights. So yeah, it's like it's so funny because when I'm out in public, first of all, I get chastised because I'm not wearing a Pittsburgh Pirates hat because everyone around here is like so diehard about sports, and I know nothing about sports ball, just like you. I'm a car guy. That's my redeeming straight male quality is cars. But but like everyone's got Steelers stuff on here because of Pittsburgh and the they call them the Bucks, but it's the Pirates. I don't know why that is. I don't know. But anyways,
Buccaneers? Is that why?
yeah, but I think it's the Pittsburgh Pirates though. But they for short they call them the Bucks. It still doesn't
Oh,
make sense. I
all
don't
right.
know why.
A whole nother
Anyways,
thing.
yeah, a whole other thing. But yeah, anytime I'm out in public, people give me shit all the time because they're like, "Oh, you like the Dodgers?" I'm like, actually, I don't know anything about the Dodgers. I love the city, so that's why I wear the
So
LA
here's
hat.
where
So
I cut you off. I'm a no sports ball guy too. That's a Dodgers hat?
yeah, it's LA Dodgers baseball hat. Man, you holy shit! Did I just meet a guy that knows less about sports than I do? Because I never
I
thought that would happen.
I thought you were representing. Yeah,
Oh
you did.
man.
Yeah, I mean, now it makes perfect sense in hindsight. Yes, now I can see all of the pieces laid out for me.
I honestly just like the logo because, like, I think Adam Levine even has this like tattooed on him somewhere. But like, and then there's all kinds of like, I saw this documentary about this really famous photographer, and he's the one that came up with the whole like LA sign that's like this. Like, there's all kinds of cool. Like, I just like the logo. I think it's cool as shit. So
Can
that's
you
why I
do the
wear the hat.
Bloods one? I don't think we're supposed to flash it, but I learned how to
I
do it
don't
once. I
know.
always
I
thought it
don't
was
know
cool.
what is the Bloods. I don't know. I used to watch all the like gang documentaries and
See if I
stuff. I
know how to
should
do
know
it
this.
still. I think that's pretty quick. There you go.
I'm
See
letting
it?
a lot of people down here by not like
See, it's
stuff like that.
BLOOD there
Oh, there
if
you
I did
go.
it right.
Shit, man. Throw up your
Yeah.
set, Jay. What's up?
Yeah, it's there was a Seinfeld, wasn't it, where he flashes the sign inadvertently and he doesn't get jumped
Yeah.
by the gang.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we should be good for this episode then. No Crip's gonna come beat my door down. I don't think so. We'll be good.
All right. Well, yes.
So you
How
watch
about this?
Ford v Ferrari again?
Should we start with that? I
If
watched
you
it
want,
again because
I'm just so excited about it. Yeah.
all right. Well, obviously you're my friend and you own one of the cars and it's like your new favorite movie and you've seen it 30 times. You said on the show the other day, and
It's 31
I
now.
go into I go into things blind, so I knew nothing about the movie coming. I knew what people knew, but I wasn't getting into any of the complaint. Oh, it's the wrong wheels and the wrong blah blah blah. I wasn't getting involved
Yeah.
in any of that stuff. So the
Yeah.
first time I saw the movie was whenever it came out on Blu-ray or on demand or whatever the heck.
Yeah.
I really, really, really enjoyed it. I remember calling you right afterwards and being like, "Yeah, it's amazing. I totally get it." I watched it again, and I put it away knowing I had to watch it again at some point. And Nicole enjoyed it too, and we said, "All right, we'll watch it at some point." Finally, that time came. What is it? 6 months later, maybe, from when it came out, ish.
I think it came out on Blu-ray or whatever, the digital in February. So yeah, probably.
Oh,
Pretty
maybe
close
less.
to that, I would
Okay.
say. Maybe
Well,
less.
whatever it was, it felt like a while, and because the world. And what I was taken with this time was that I wasn't trying to do any sleuthing or figure anything out. I just went along the ride of the movie, and I thought it was a great movie.
It's a great story. Like just
and
everything
I-
about it. I mean, the way it's shot, the way they tell the story. Yeah, it's all.
I think knowing the story though early, I think I was then scrutinizing the film as I was watching it the whole time. Even though I was happy with what I saw, I still found myself looking at oh, is that right? Is that right? Is that right? Or are they going where I think they're going? Or oh, they're telling the whole story right back from when the Ferrari in the beginning. All of that stuff, I think, probably because of my own brain, took me out of it a little bit, and none of that was a problem this time. And I just was able to go along with what the director intended, and it was just delightful. It was really, really enjoyable. Like I really can't wait to watch it again. And now I kind of get where you're coming from with this whole thing. Why did it speak to you so much?
I think because it was just an era that I've always kind of fantasized about living in. Just that whole golden age of, sports car racing and road racing. And it was just that perfect arc from like like Willow Springs Spiders and Speedsters of the late 50s. And then, ending up and obviously at the 66 Le Mans. I don't know, just those years for me are just amazing. I think that's probably one of the reasons I really love Hans Hermann as a works driver, because his career to me was just perfect, because he started off in these, it was the first Spiders basically that they had built, still with the kind of upright headlights, and then he finished, in 1970 with the winning of Le Mans with the 917. So I mean, his whole arc was just really cool. So the fact that this movie kind of covers that whole time period for me was just incredibly awesome. And to see these cars on film and, the clothes, and they just seem to get everything right. I think we were talking about last week how they didn't even really have to change Willow Springs that much because it looks exactly like that anytime. So
Yeah,
that was
I
an
don't
easy
even
one
think
to
they
do. I
painted it
mean,
or anything, right?
they
Like it was
probably didn't.
exactly the same.
Right, right. They may have changed the prices on like the, what they sold the
Oh, the
hot
hot
dogs
dogs
for or
and the beer.
something, a sign. Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, other than that, like everything I just love that era. I love the clothes. I love just everything about it. So that to me is kind of what drew me in initially. And then, of course, I've always been a huge fan of Ken Miles. Even before this came out, I knew about him and how he's kind of this underrated guy that was kind of hard to get along with, but just immense talent behind the wheel and just all of these. I've never really been a huge Shelby fan. Like I've never really been a Mustang guy, and maybe part of that is because all the rich kids at my high school had Mustangs, and maybe I was a little jealous, maybe not, I don't know, but I've just never really connected with Mustangs for whatever reason. They've just never been my jam. But so for that reason, I didn't really. I mean, I knew a little bit about Shelby, but it was kind of cool to see, that character brought to life. And I feel like Matt Damon kind of got a lot of criticism just because he didn't really fit the physical, aspects of Carol. But I feel like he really channeled him well. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Texas accents. I do them all the time, but he did. I felt like he did a great job on that film.
You
He really
you
did.
mentioned that last time and we talked about it a little bit. I was taken again. I didn't know Carroll Shelby at that age. I knew Carroll Shelby I
Towards
knew,
the end.
saw him from a distance, met him through my friends. I had no
Mm-hmm.
affiliation whatsoever. But I did used to go to the Shelby reunions with my friend and his dad every year and whatever. So I did
Right.
see this guy. I never knew Shelby when he was of that age. So I don't know that Matt Damon doesn't look that much like him. I mean, Shelby had more of the barrel chest and shit like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, what you would get from meeting the man, and what you would get when he was shaking your hand or whatever.
Of course.
That's there, and Matt Damon has it. And I told you last week, whatever's
Right.
in his face, I'm Carroll Shelby, and that's the way it is. He had
Yeah.
all of that, and I feel
Yeah.
like
It's
Matt
funny.
Damon would absolutely be able to shake a hand and sell a car the same way
Yeah,
Shelby would have.
yeah, yeah. And you know what? I really respect that they kind of kept that showman aspect of Shelby in the film. They didn't kind of like try and
Airbrush it.
reinvent this person or gloss over the fact that he was just, he's P.T. Barnum of the car world, and I was a little upset he didn't charge for the autograph to that kid in Willow Springs, but maybe that came later. Who knows? But I thought that was
Well,
pretty
you brought
funny.
that
And
up with me too. You brought that up on the phone the other day, and I didn't. I didn't. We were on the other side of that line. So for anybody else who doesn't know, I had a friend for long, I mean, years and years and years, a great car friend whose dad used to build race cars for Shelby, like at the airport over in it's LAX now, but I think it's like FedEx and DHL over on the
right.
south side of the runway.
Yeah, the LAX hangar.
And I think that's what is immortalized in the movie now, right? I mean, that's where they end up. Is that where it's
That's supposed to be the LAX hangar, but it's technically in Ontario because I mean you see the mountains in the background. It's the Ontario airport where that
But
hangar's at.
at
But
the
yeah,
very
that's
end,
what that's supposed to be. Yeah.
they CGI'd in like the Encounter restaurant and all that stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, for all intents and purposes in the film, that's LAX. Yes.
There was and then we did find what on the last episode we talked about whatever there was the restaurant you were looking for. We
The
ended up
Mexican
finding
restaurant I wanted. Yeah, you found it. You found it. Yeah. That was
it.
awesome.
Sleuthing.
Yeah, that was cool. But I mean, I'm sure you used to do that with your Back to the Future stuff too, right? I mean, we did that with the Herbie World. We were like so excited when we found, whatever from Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. Oh, they actually filmed that in Lake Casitas or whatever.
Yeah, I'm more excited about the Herbie stuff because those are the real roads and everything. I mean, for the most part, Back to the Future was the back lot, and then
Studio,
anything,
yeah.
except for like the houses, like Marty's house and stuff. But they didn't spend really any time at those places, and I
Right.
think that they were probably all found by the time I was into the Back to
Right.
the Future scene. But I think what our generation did was find the actual shit that was on the car. Instead of
Yeah, definitely.
oh,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like a thing, and they have this thing at
That's
Home
a
Depot
hubcap
that's
from a
similar.
Dodge Polaris. Yeah.
We were
All that.
yeah, exactly. It was sort of our generation that kind of found out what all the surplus was. And by the way, by
Yeah.
doing all that dirty work of like being a mole and digging through electronic surplus at Apex.
Yeah.
the stuff that no art person would have done because they just picked whatever. But us, we're trying to like get the exact part. So there must be more in here. Oh,
Yeah.
you got to be the same with Porsche, rare Porsche or VW parts, right? It's got to be the
it's
same
all
thing.
it all applies. It's all the same stuff, man. It's
Scavenging.
just, yeah, just scavenging. Now it's eBay. I mean, back in the day, it was like a lot of the stuff that I got from one of my Herbie cars one of the ones I restored, not the one that I preserved. I tried to get as many of the like aircraft fittings and stuff like from this surplus place in Orlando where I lived, and because that's what they used. The guy that was the head of special effects, Danny Lee for Disney, told me that there was a place that was somewhere in Burbank, and they would just go there, and it was just surplus everything. It was aircraft parts, it was electronics. I'm sure it's probably the same store they went to for the Back to the Future
It's
stuff.
one of 3 or 4 different places, and they were all the same back then.
Right. So yeah, it's all the same. It's funny.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's so
crazy
wild
stuff.
It's just wild how we had parallel lives.
Yeah, it is
so
weird.
long.
Like different movie cars, but it's all the same journey. It's very strange. And in the fact that we both kind of got burned out on it for the same reasons and totally gave it up and then came over
Walked
to
away.
this other little world. Yeah, and now I'm back. But it's
You're-
a different
you're
thing
just-
because this 906 is, it's not the star of the movie. It's kind of a background. I like this car not because it's in the movie, because of what it represents,
Yeah.
era. So
What
it's all
what
good.
about
it's a fake. It's a fakey. So
Don't say that, but you did send me a link today.
hey, I don't expect everyone to love this car. If Matt Farah's not down with the Ford versus Ferrari 906s, that's cool. But they did not use any 917s in Ford versus Ferrari. And I would also like to point out that he was fooled at the Peterson Museum show that one time. So they're obviously good enough to fool him.
I mean, no bitterness.
Because I remember
None.
he
No
posted.
bitterness.
Well, it's so funny because I sent it to my friend who was at that show, and he had taken his green longtail to that show. And Matt immediately like posted on his Instagram like some heavy hitters in the building today or in the house today or something like that. And he posted a picture of my buddy's 906, the one that coincidentally your friend is insuring now, that's at Lions
Right.
Museum or whatever. And then like within 10 minutes it was corrected. Oh, never mind, false alarm. It's just a movie car. Wah, wah, wah.
That's so funny. Well,
I don't care. I don't take that stuff personally. I like the car.
what I was just bringing up a second ago for my friend at home was that Tori sent me a link today that was to the new Smoking Tire podcast that they've been. We're not able to build Matt's studio, so Matt and Zach have been just recording episodes from home, I think literally from Matt's home, like from his bar or whatever, like his game room. So they're just doing these, as he likes to call them, ghetto episodes, because there's really no equipment. It's just kind of these two guys and their laptops. But apparently one of the topics of conversation today was there's a
Cars
bunch
and
of what was it? Bunch of movie replica cars that are really cool from afar, but then when you get up close, the interior is not that good. I'm thinking to myself,
Yeah, it was pretty.
that's
funny.
a movie car. Nailed it.
Yeah, that's. But you know what? Maybe he's jilted because I know when he owned his DeLorean, like he hated the constant Back to the Future references. So maybe he's just anti-movie car now. I don't know.
You know that he and I have never bridged that gap. We've never even talked about that. I completely forgot he had a DeLorean.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that was
funny.
like big fodder for him for a lot of his shows. And then I think
Oh, really?
he ended up, yeah, and then he
It was
ended up
before
selling it.
it was before I knew him that well. I mean, I didn't know
Right.
him at all before I knew of him that well.
Right. No, he would constantly complain about people like making flux capacitor jokes and stuff like that, how it just gets old.
Well,
And
that's
just
true.
a movie. That's just a movie car thing. I mean, even a DeLorean thing. I'm sure all the DeLorean people get that all the time. They probably
Yeah,
get
it's
tired
either
of it.
Back to the Future or obnoxious jokes about cocaine from people who aren't really that educated
Well, see,
on the
I
whole
used to
story.
get that because
Yeah.
of Lindsay Lohan. I had one of the cars from Herbie Fully Loaded, which is the movie that she did, the remake or whatever. So it was constantly like, "Oh, how much coke did you find in the glove box?" And well, none. She
Oh, that's
snorted
not
it all.
nice.
Like, yeah. Oh, it's
And
every
attaching
day,
it to
all the
Herbie,
time.
no less, which is like,
Can I smell the seat? Like, it was
innocence and
just
good.
stupid. Yeah, it's low hanging fruit. Stupid. Yeah, so that got old.
Well, what I liked was that Zach came to your, not your personal defense, but the owners of those cars' defense. Like, dude, those cars sold for like a lot of money. Like, they're really
still
collectible.
expensive.
He's like, they're really cool.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. Well, the whole the ironic part of that whole conversation is he was like, they do all kinds of weird stuff in the movie car world, which is true. and he was like, for I think it was Fast Five. I don't know my Fast and Furious movies. It was either the fourth one or the fifth one. I lost track after Too Fast, Too Furious. But anyways, one of the cars, and I knew about this, had a Volkswagen motor in the back. It was rear engine, tube frame. It was honestly almost the same exact thing they did for the Back to the Future 3 car.
Right.
No,
For the
off-road one's
off-roader.
basically it's like a tube chassis with a Volkswagen motor. And so, but Zach said
Often
it was a Subaru
often
motor.
for jump cars is why they do
Yeah,
this.
yeah, and that's exactly what it was for this R34 Skyline. They had to like jump off of like the highway onto some off ramp or something. I don't remember, but yeah,
And they
so the
really
car's
did it
still around.
practically.
They did, yeah, they did it practically. But the irony is, he was like, "Oh yeah, that had a Subaru motor in it." No, that had a Volkswagen motor. My 906 has a Subaru motor, but it's just funny. So yeah, they did this little kind of side tangent on movie cars. It was funny, but
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I know
thought it was
you
funny,
so well,
dude.
and I know that the funny thing is, you didn't keep your car screen accurate to what it was in the movie. You actually wanted to do a tribute car to
I want to make it
prototype
more
and the
like
whole
the
bit.
original. Yeah.
But my point is, if your car were sitting there the other day, I think it would have passed several more layers of judgment and
Maybe
scrutiny.
so. I don't know. I mean, Bill made the same wheels that I did, and I don't know. Maybe he just didn't connect with the white paint job. I don't know.
No, I was there too, man. I'm just like, the car was awesome, but there are things that your touches, the Tory touches, the seatbelts, all the touch, the leather, all the different touches, all that stuff.
Well, thanks.
It makes the whole package.
Awesome. So I got Tory touch and package out of that. So cool.
Congratulations, you've made
Thanks,
the whole
man.
package.
I really appreciate that. No, I totally hear what you're saying. Hopefully that's true. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I know that my car is going to be at the Heritage Gallery in Atlanta. I would imagine they don't pick slouch of cars to, represent there. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe people will dig it there. We'll see. I don't know. Time will tell.
I love it. You're hysterical. All right. Obviously, Ford Ferrari is probably your top, I'm guessing. What would your other, or maybe other than taking Ford versus Ferrari out of the equation, what would your favorite car movie be?
Oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot.
And
here,
and
man.
why?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, like some of the Herbie movies are really, really good car movies. Like if you're to go back and watch Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo,
Yeah.
dude, like some of the cars in there are just amazing because a lot of these are like, 911 RSRs and I mean, really, really rare stuff now.
I love that
mean,
one
I
too
wouldn't
because
say
they're on a lot
that's-
of the real tracks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're on Laguna Seca, and like it's a really, really cool. And then, of course, the very first one, the Love Bug. I mean, a lot of that stock footage was from the Times Grand Prix at Riverside, right around the time. I mean, they had the same champion sign hanging, on the bridge. So I mean, a lot of that stuff was very similar. Dude, there's so many weird things about Ford v Ferrari and the Love Bug. Like there was this part, and I don't know how long it's been since you've seen the Love Bug, but there's this part where Matt Damon says, "Not yet." Not yet.
Yeah.
And he keeps telling, and he says, now. And he's like looking for the spot to like pass or whatever. Buddy Hackett said the same thing to Herbie in the Love Bug. Like
remember
a couple
that.
times.
I
mean,
totally
it's like
remember
this
that.
bit. And I was like freaking out. I was like, surely he's not going to keep saying that. And he did. And I was like, whoa, that totally was like in the Love Bug. So I don't know if that was just something that they wanted to put in or if it was just total coincidence or what. But I don't know.
Maybe
There's
of
so
the
many
time
good.
too. But, those are both period. I mean, they both took place in the '60s, right?
Right.
Maybe that was.
I mean, literally the same tracks, literally the same time. I mean, they filmed
So
a lot of the Herbie stuff late 67, early 68. So, I mean, we're talking literally like a year after Ken Miles had been killed on that same track right there. So, yeah, pretty crazy. But there's so many good car movies. It's hard to say. I mean, man, I don't know. And, you mentioned Days of Thunder the other day. I've never even
well,
seen.
hang on. You talk about yours. I'll get to mine in a second.
Is that your favorite car movie? Because I've never seen it.
For sure, hands down.
Really?
Although this is Ford versus Ferrari may take the hat now.
I think that's probably mine. I mean, for now, that probably is mine, just because I think it's so well done. The cars, it's practically done. I can't watch stuff that seems dated now, like Gone in 60 Seconds. Like,
Oh, we watched that recently for the
the
since
CGI
COVID.
is so. Oh, it didn't date well at all. At
Oh,
all. It's
I
terrible.
guess I watched it somewhere in the middle, and I had that
Hmm.
reaction, so I was already prepared to hate it, and we actually really enjoyed it. We're like, the cast in this movie is amazing. We're like,
And the
you know,
cast
for
was
a crappy
awesome.
movie, this is really enjoyable.
Yeah, the cast was awesome. The effects are terrible. But I mean, that's just the time period that it was made. That's just technology's come that far. It's gotten that much better.
For
But
me, Days of Thunder, hands down.
really, I've
And I
never
don't
seen
like
it.
NASCAR.
Right.
And I don't like Tom Cruise. I mean, it's not. I'm not particularly a fan of any bit of it, but as a
Right.
whole, I really, really enjoy that movie. And I even rewatched it the other day after watching Ford versus Ferrari, just to kind of have, or within a couple days of each other,
Hmm.
just to kind of have you know, feel the palette out a little bit.
Hmm.
And I still enjoy the Days of Thunder so much, but it is. I don't know. It's sort of spoon fed to you, you know, at this point.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's definitely a Hollywood. I mean, it's Top Gun on the track, right? Isn't it
Yeah.
basically the same movie?
Yeah. I think that's
So,
usually like the movie that Tom Cruise does. He just changes the vehicle, you know. I mean, it's kind of the
I
same,
really
I think.
enjoyed that. It's the rest of the people in it for me. I
Hmm.
love everybody in it. John C. Riley when he was first starting out, and he's a serious actor, killer.
Hmm.
Robert
Hmm.
Duvall, oh my gosh, royalty, literally from The
Hmm.
Godfather. Well, Nicole Kidman, I guess, is hit or miss, but Randy Quaid when he was really, really killing it.
Yeah, in his prime.
I love
Yeah.
that character.
Hmm.
Oh, Carrie Elways is in it too. I don't particularly care
Hmm.
for him in any way, and I hated that character, Russ Wheeler, but he's a great villain in it. And Michael
Yeah.
Rooker, who's famous now because of all the zombie shit, Walking Dead,
Right.
I think he's
Right.
on.
Yeah.
We hung out with him in San Francisco one night with the MythBusters. I can't remember
No
what the hell
way.
for. Maybe somebody was leaving town. I think the MythBusters DP. I think a friend of ours was like moving back to Australia, so we went up there for this party. But Michael
We'll just
Rooker had
gloss
just
over
done
the
an.
Adam Savage stories in the news lately. Then.
Oh, really? Well, Michael Rooker had just done this episode with them, which I think was, you know, like with The Walking Dead or something like that.
Oh,
So he was
okay,
at this
gotcha.
party or whatever. But he was in it, and I just everybody in it is so strong that
Yeah.
I don't know. And you know what? The music gets me too. People make fun of the music left and right. I actually looked this up on the internet because I wanted to see who did it. It was actually Hans Zimmer. I was right. I thought I
Was it
was.
really?
Yeah, I thought I was making that up because it did not make any
Wow.
sense to me that a name like Hans Zimmer would be involved with that movie. But I looked it up and that's who has the credit. So I think it's true.
Wow.
But I loved all of both the real classics like Steve Winwood, Give Me Some Lovin', and the
Yeah.
original score, you know, with the actual just the racing music that I guess Hans came
Hmm.
up with. I don't know. There's an energy to it. It's a ride. It's a
I'm
ride.
gonna have to watch it. Well, and I can. It's one of the few movies I can watch for the first time that I've never seen. There's a lot of '80s movies I didn't see that I've had to catch up on.
Wait,
Like
you've never seen it?
I've never seen it once ever.
Holy
I've
crap! Oh, you
never
might
seen
hate
Days
it
of
now.
Thunder.
Then I don't know. It came out in 1990, and it was like
Oh, I
you know,
remember when it came out. It was a huge deal.
yeah.
Yeah. Is that
Oh
the
man,
mellow yellow?
you know
car?
what? It's anybody else too. We watched it on Prime. It's on Amazon Prime for
Oh,
free on
perfect.
Prime or
I've
whatever.
got Prime. I'll check it out.
Highly recommend it. And then I can't wait to hear what you think of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say
Maybe next
this:
Tuesday.
in rewatching it, it wasn't. I mean, some of the lines and the timing. You know, some of the stuff is dated and is a little bit cheesy, but overwhelmingly, what I thought would be cheesy wasn't, and that they actually cover. You know how they say Cars? Yeah, it's a cartoon movie, but they cover the cars and the racing and everything really, really well and accurately. Days of Thunder does too. You know what I mean? Like they
Really?
teach people who didn't know about drafting and about
Mm-hmm.
rubbing and like all this different racing stuff that you wouldn't about tires and why they wear out. And just there's all this kind of real stuff in there too, interweaved that you kind of get a mini education on what the hell NASCAR is, why
That's
they're going in a
awesome.
circle.
That's really cool.
There's a couple
I
shots
will
of
say I
Confederate
did.
flags, so you have to overlook that if you're going to watch it.
We're
I
not
have to
going
say
there. That was last week.
I have to
I'm
say.
not going there.
There are.
I will say I watched Grand Prix with James Garner for the first time recently, and that was a
And
really freaking good movie. I
really?
really enjoyed that movie. Yeah, the score on it's amazing. Matter of fact, they even said in the behind the scenes stuff for Ford versus Ferrari that's one of the films that they really studied because they wanted to capture that feel because the racing seemed so real and it was a lot of the same guys. What's ironic is it's all the same time period. Obviously, I mean I think Grand Prix was '66, so that'd be the same year. But like Lorenzo Bandini, who was one of the P3 pilots in Ford v Ferrari, in real life. He was one of the drivers, I believe, for Grand Prix. Like they got real drivers
Oh wow.
to do the filming and stuff like that. Just like
Okay.
Le Mans. I mean, Vic Elford was one of the guys that, drove the camera car for Le Mans. So I mean, it's all these same guys.
You just brought up some awesome points of why I think you're going to like Days of Thunder. Not only was it sometimes real drivers, these cars were actually in real races. They had to qualify. It was the Hendricks cars. It was a brand new race. But the movie is basically
No
kind of
way.
based on Rick Hendricks. He's sort of the Tim Dalen character, the red
Okay.
Randy Quaid
Okay.
character.
Okay.
He's a used car salesman, and he's kind of trying to start a race team sort of deal.
Okay.
And they had to make all of these real race cars, and they had to make them good enough to qualify and then race and be in these races.
Run at the track, yeah. Probably even back then for like legal reasons, they had to have real fire suppression systems and legit
Everything had to
voltages
be
and all that.
fully up to code. And
Yeah.
and that was even on the little, quarter mile and half mile and mile tracks, all that stuff. But even at Daytona, they qualified and ran 2 cars in Daytona solely for the
Holy
movie.
shit. Holy shit.
Yeah,
That
and then
year.
they had
So that
other
would have
cars,
been,
the camera cars that
89
would
probably
run.
then?
Say it again.
So that probably would have been 89 then if the movie came out in 90. Probably
Yeah, I guess
88
you're
or
right.
89
Yeah,
that they
88,
would have
89,
run
something.
that. Oh,
It's
that's,
really
well,
cool.
I'm intrigued now.
I, of course, like you, I went down the rabbit hole afterwards, and because everything's connected now, the YouTube heard that I watched Days of Thunder, so it's like, you might like this documentary. And there's a behind-the-scenes
usually right.
making of that would have been on a
cool.
Blu-ray if there ever was such a thing, but I really enjoyed it. It was a deep
I'm
dive
gonna
on
have to
Days
check
of
it out
Thunder.
now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out now. Well, there's not many movies like that I haven't seen, but I do know that like people love that. Like I've seen snippets. Like I've seen the thing where they beat the rental cars up, going back to the like they're on the beach, and that supposedly really happened. That's based on a true story. I don't remember who the interview was with, but someone said that really happened. They got that story from them.
As I understand it, the script is not very good.
Okay.
And essentially, it's because all of the stuff, it's all vignettes of things that really happened.
Oh, okay.
They're
So
all
they
real
just tried
names,
to
real
loosely
people, real
stitch it all together.
stories. Yeah,
Make it flow.
even the main
Okay.
crash in the movie is like an if they made it of 2 famous crashes. You know what I mean? Like all sorts of stuff like that. So I think even though we're not into NASCAR per se, just the level of detail and the authenticity at which it was done is kind of that honesty to me is like I don't even care if I don't like the subject matter. I'll watch someone who puts that kind of effort into it.
Yeah, I agree completely. Oh, cool. Well, I gotta check it out now. I'm gonna watch it.
Now I want to watch
Talk
it.
about it next Tuesday. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. What about Driven? Did you ever see Driven? Real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on it.
Which one's Driven? Remind me.
This is the worst car movie I've ever seen, but it's still one of my favorites, and I don't know why. I just enjoy maybe how bad it is. But it's the one with, I'm going to list a bunch of people. Burt Reynolds, Sylvester
Okay,
Stallone.
I haven't seen it. Oh, that's the F1 movie, right? Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I
I
mean,
was warned to
kinda.
stay away from that. Yeah.
It's got all these famous people in it, like huge Hollywood A-name actors, but the movie's about Kip Pardue.
It bombed, right? Like,
Oh, I
don't
think so.
I
think
it
so,
won
and it was
quite a few
supposed to be
Razzies.
like this worldwide blockbuster because of F1.
Yeah, I think they thought it was going to be Rush before Rush, and that did not happen.
Oh, it was not Rush. But you're
Right,
right. Now that
exactly.
you say that, you're totally right. Yeah, there's a lot of, you're totally right. There's a lot of like backstory, like what happened with
Yeah.
them? Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's so funny.
Yeah, then Ron Howard was like, hold my beer. Let me show you how it's done. Because I did enjoy Rush. Rush was amazing. That would probably make my top 10 list of car movies. That was really good.
I think I told you that we watched that right before the Ford versus Ferrari came out, just to kind of have a little bit of a barometer. And we loved it. We enjoyed it better than first time.
Yeah.
But Ford versus Ferrari blew it away for us.
I liked Ford
and
v
not just
Ferrari
because the
better, for
story. I mean, like the storytelling, the visuals. It was just.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good.
I
Yeah,
get why you
there's some good ones out
have it
there.
on in the background. I really do. It's for like a mid-century person who has kind of designed
Yeah.
things on, or you know what I mean.
Just
It
a
really
period
is more of a
thing, too.
mood.
Like, yeah, it is. It like the music's good. I mean, the soundtrack's amazing.
Music is good.
It's
It's a really good
Oh.
blend of music and car sounds. It's not too
Yeah.
much of one or the other.
So do you want to hear a really funny story? This is crazy. So the guy that is doing the video for me for the My 906, Matthew Little, he recorded a video that was reshot by Petrolicious, not to go back to that whole thing again or whatever, but the car not going there. But the car that they used for all of the sounds, the GT40, that was from Ohio. They tried to get some guys in LA to like lend their, $15 million GT40s or whatever to tape sounds, to record all of the sounds, put microphones on it and get all the sounds. They couldn't find anyone in California to lend them a GT40. They had to come to Ohio. They filmed all of the sound for that 45 minutes from my house at a track called Nelson Ledges.
That's really
Just
funny.
hilarious.
I
And
actually
Matthew
totally
Little,
buy
the
it
guy-
too, though.
Yeah. And Matthew Little, the guy that's doing my video about my car, is the one that filmed the video about this car. It wasn't the sound. Obviously, the people from 20th Century Fox are the ones that came out and did the sound. But all of the sound effects for the GT40 were filmed 45 minutes from my house.
That is
Which
so
is
wild.
crazy to me. Yeah. Well, what's wild is they couldn't find anyone in California to do that. It's like
That
they
makes
had to
perfect
come
sense
all
to
the
me.
way here.
Nah, that
It
makes
does.
perfect
I mean,
sense
those
to me.
cars are not cheap. Yeah.
But
no one
people
wants-
out here also know the movie business.
Yeah, that's
You know what
true
I mean?
too. Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're not going to put gaffer's tape all over my car. You're not going to, yeah, they know.
I just don't even
They're not
want you in my
stupid.
barn. I don't even want you in my
Yep.
barn. I don't
They
even
had
want
to
you knowing
come
where my
to-
stuff is.
They had to come to Ohio. So I thought that was funny.
Gosh, that is funny. All right, switching gears just for a second. Youth in Porsche or youth in cars.
Let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah.
I have a couple. Can I just maybe start with a couple visual aids? I'll pull up a couple pictures and you can maybe tell us what's going on
this
here.
is cool, man. This is cool. I had to share this. This is the kind of stuff that makes it, everything I do on my car worthwhile. I got some photos from this young man, Hair Cobra 05, and he is like obsessed with my car, loves everything about it, eats up everything that I post about it. This kid, I mean, he completely
Wow.
built this thing out of scratch
That
from
looks like little Jay Ryan shit
cardboard
right there.
and I mean it's absolutely unreal what this kid did, and he posts this stuff on Instagram, and I was just blown away. And people like look at the bendy straws for like the
That's what
the
I
air
can't
intake
believe. I'm
hoses.
so impressed.
I mean, he's got brake duct hoses, he's got velocity stacks, he's got. I mean, that's just damn, that's cool.
And
Like,
it's all like cardboard, but it's all color correct and everything.
dude, like this kid just killed it. I can't believe that someone would take that much time to do this stuff and then send that to me. Like, that just makes me feel like I'm on the right path here. And I hear this all the time whenever I'm at Cars and Coffee or whatever, like, oh, kids nowadays don't care about cars. You know what? This kid does. This kid does a lot. And I think there's a lot more kids out there like him than we give credit for. And I've been thinking about, like, this morning I was on eBay, like I always am, and I started thinking about those little cards that I had, these little fact cards that I had as a kid of different cars, and the specifications are on the back, and it kind of dawned on me, like, kids have Instagram for that now. Like, they don't need to carry around these little cardboard, spec sheets like I did when I was a kid. They just have to go
That's
on Instagram.
so wild.
Yeah, or even, I mean, video games now are so amazing that you can literally go on Forza or you can go on Gran Turismo and you find out all this information about these cars. That's how these kids are getting their information now. It's not like when we were kids and, I had to beg my parents to get me, Volkswagen magazines or VW and Porsche or whatever it was. I mean, now they can just log on, or they can just, boot up the video game, which is amazing. I mean, the wealth of knowledge that's at kids' fingertips now has never been better. So I really think we're going to be okay.
I agree with you. For me, it was like getting a ride to the mall to go to Walden Books because they had the best magazine section, and then from there you would
Yeah,
kinda
they did.
go down the rabbit hole. Every
Yep.
week or
Yeah,
whatever.
Walden Books was always better than B. Dalton's. We had B.
Always.
Dalton's too, but yeah,
Why?
Walden's
B.
was
Dalton's
always
had better
I don't
books,
know why.
but was it had something? The magazine. It was just the reference section. Something about the reference section.
You know what I
God,
think
that's funny.
too? The lighting was always so much better in Walden Books. B. Dalton
Oh,
was
you're
like
right about
bright,
that.
and it was like bright oranges and like beiges, and Walden Books was just like this homely, like, it made you just want to like take a seat and just like peruse magazines and not go anywhere for a while.
I
B.
think
Dalton
you're
was too
right.
pricey.
I think you're right. I think maybe that's where
created a
Barnes
nice
and Noble
mood.
took a page out of their playbook.
Yeah, I think so. And we just dated ourselves with all this Walden Books and B. Dalton talk. All these young viewers are like, what the hell is B. Dalton's? Never even heard of that.
It's chiseling it out of chiseling it out of a stone and granite.
Yeah,
The Flintstones. Gosh, I mean, do
it's
kids even know
bad.
what the Flintstones are? Because the
I
Flintstones were
don't
based
know.
on the Honeymooners, so even that doesn't really.
Right. I feel so much older. Like every day there's something that I'm just like this morning when I was thinking about those little cards. Man, I was just a kid carrying those
Yeah.
around, cards of knowledge. That's what they were called. And there's actually a bunch of people on my Instagram right now because I even posted something about it earlier. Like, am I the only one that remembers these? No, a lot of people are like, "Oh no, I had all those. Those were the best. I loved the
Really?
the sports and the racing ones. Yeah, they had different categories. They were really cool. I'm bidding on some now.
Of course you are. Of
Yeah,
course you
gotta
are.
have some back. Yeah,
All right. Well, I would like to pull up a couple Instagrams
cool. Let's do it.
of some youths that
Youths.
we know at least of. One of
Well, I
which
was very
has
impressed with at least one of them during the Sonoma virtual festival of speed or whatever that was. One of your
California
hosts.
Virtual Festival of Speed. That's exactly who
That's what
I'm
it was.
picking up right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Share this screen. I think we'll be all right here. Excuse me. I always feel like Jack Nicholson. I try to turn away to, and it always seems to be right into. Did you see that? As good as it gets, every time he picks up the
Yeah.
phone, he gets it right up to him, and then he clears his throat. It's the worst. I apologize to my friend at home. All right. Did we get here? Yeah, here we go. All right. So I'm going to go to my phone. And you mentioned, and we're talking about the Stiglet here, and that is who I want to talk about. The Stiglet was a guest here, and more importantly than that, can we talk about this?
That's awesome.
Stiglet got his license, or at least his permit, but he is driving. That's him.
That's so
That's
cool.
Joey.
I remember that look, man. I didn't have a Mercedes though.
Oh, man, good point. What was your first?
Good on him. What do you think? It was a Volkswagen, of course.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Figured as much.
Yep.
Yeah, Joey here has a killer Instagram that's got really cool stuff, and he's doing it all himself. It's not his. I mean, I don't think his parents help him, other than like supporting him and stuff. He
so
takes
cool.
good photos, but look at him. He's out there go-karting all the time.
Chilling. That's like
Yeah, and when
that's
he's
like
not,
16-year-old Ray Schaefer right there, man.
look at that. I mean, you're not kidding.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Wow. So they sim race carts too. That's really cool. Who knew?
He's hauling ass, bro.
Wow. That's amazing. Technology, man. Something
Good
else.
stuff. Good stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, Stiglet is out there, and he's actually on the roads, and he does the sim racing as well. And he's going to be here soon, as soon as the COVID stuff is, settled down a little bit, hopefully.
So like 3 years.
Love that I'm
Maybe
still
he'll be
talking
drinking
about
age by then. You can have a beer with him. Well, actually, you can't. But
that. I hope it's not that long.
I'm just kidding.
And then one more I want to mention, just because we hope to get her in here at some point. Let's see. Here we go. Pop it back up here. Tinker Engineering. Highly recommend following these guys, by the way, the Stiglet and Tinker Engineering. Tinker Engineering is a lovely young lady who's making all these videos.
They're making EV 914. How cool is that?
We asked if anyone wanted these bumpers, and Brett from 914 World in
Isn't it great?
Oh my gosh.
I'm
like
telling you,
little
she's a
host,
star.
man.
She's an absolute
What?
star. Yes, these kids are
Wow.
killing it, man.
That's
Just great
amazing.
stuff.
That's
And they're
so
out
cool
and
to
about,
see.
actually, like, they're not just on their phones, almost like we are.
Yeah.
It's like they're really out there doing stuff.
That's
They've
really
got all
neat.
that young energy, It's
Yeah.
really awesome.
Well, I have
get,
to mention Haggerty because I think they're a big driving force of all this because
Okay.
they have these programs that are just amazing. They host these open houses and whatnot where owners of classic cars will bring their cars and then they can teach kids how to drive manual transmissions. They can take them around the parking lot in the Model T so they see how that works. And I love stuff like that. That's so cool. And I feel like they're really invested in that, making sure that the next generation is going to have an interest in these cars because I mean, let's face it, we can't take them with us. So, who's going to be, and we're starting to see some of this now. It's kind of weird. I mean, 50s American cars are just not bringing the money that they were, 20, 30 years ago.
is that because the
these
market's
guys
dying
Yeah,
off.
it's the more. I mean, these guys are dying off. The guys
Yeah.
that cared about them, and I mean, you look at, I watch all the auctions, obviously. So like you watch Barrett Jackson and Meekum and stuff, and I mean, some of these cars are selling for what you couldn't even get them re-chromed for. I mean, the bumpers and the grills and stuff. I mean, it's amazing. These
Wow.
cars that they're just giving them away because nobody really wants them. Model Ts and Model As, like that whole. I mean, there's not a lot of brass car enthusiasts anymore. It's kind of
Yeah.
sad. I mean, I'm not a brass car guy, but I can appreciate it, and I
Same.
still think that that's something that needs to be preserved and carried on to the next generation. So, hopefully, some of these, Stiglitz and all of them step up and kind of take an interest in some of this other weird oddball stuff too. So, I don't know. I mean,
That's a
it's easy
great
for them
point.
to like Porsches and stuff, but I mean, we need kids that are into the really old stuff too. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it is interesting, and I'm thrilled to see, enthusiasm on in any decade of cars. And I mean, look at us. I mean, we've all had different cars that we were into, and then you get into something, and it's like, oh, what's this over here? Let me go over here and look and see what's going on here. So I mean,
Truth.
it's just a natural progression. I mean, you continuously are going on these little side tangents with cars, and they'll get there. I have faith, but it's cool to see kids like that. I mean, I'm still blown away that kid made that 906 replica. I thought that was really cool. So
I'll say. And then another kid, just to mention, just because he was came up to Breakfast Club last week, but that's Jack Feresten. Jack Feresten's got a
Yeah.
YouTube channel, and he's
That's
doing
really
car
cool.
reviews and stuff. I don't know if you've seen it.
I
They're
have, yeah,
really
I
good.
did, yeah, yeah, that's neat.
He definitely has his father Spike there at all times to tell him, all right, now speak slowly. So all the notes I wish I had somebody in my ear saying like, hey, settle down, relax.
Yeah,
Just, let's do this on your time. It's a lot more relaxing to watch, I assure you. And
Yeah.
he gets the information out, and he's very relaxed, and he's very informative. I don't know. It's enjoyable. I like him. I
it
like
is.
him.
That's neat to see. It makes you wonder where you'd be, if you'd had this technology available to you, when we were 12 or 10. I mean, it's crazy. What would we have done with it?
Did only I have it, or did everybody have it? You know what I mean? In that scenario.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
If only I had it, I can definitely build that world. If everybody else had it, it looks like this one.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm one of those believers where there is no past or future, just one long now, Looks
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
There's pictures. Can I get off topic of cars just for 1 second and get on to
course,
Americana?
Yeah.
We lost Carl Reiner the other day, and as a tribute, CBS aired a couple episodes of the original Dick Van Dyke Show, which Carl Reiner wrote, produced, created. It was about Carl Reiner, as a matter of fact. But they put these episodes on CBS the other day, and they had been colorized. But they hadn't been colorized in a way like we used to know colorization, like when we were kids and they did The Sound of Music or whatever it was. And it was like, oh, that's awesome. I mean, it is because it's in color, but please.
It's black and white, but it's blue now. Yeah, it was
all
just
of
never-
that stuff, exactly.
Yeah,
If you get a chance on the internet, I'm sure it's available. Just look at even some screen grabs to see the world.
Whoa, that would be wild.
But it was that way then. That's kind of my point to all of this. In our minds, it's old and the past is black and white and it's blurry
I
and
know.
sepia and all that stuff. It's kind of like, it wasn't to them. It was just like this. 3D, real life, vivid color.
Yeah, I know.
It's a
but
weird
we don't
thing
see
to
it that way
unlock your
because
brain a
we
little
only
bit.
know it. Yeah, exactly. That's why I love that movie. Did you ever see Pleasantville? That was
one
one
of
of Paul
Mrs.
Walker's earlier movies. That was
It's
a
one of
great
Mrs.
movie.
all-time favorites.
That's
I
such a
love
good
what
movie.
they're saying. I never found the movie itself to be that good. I always liked more like the Truman Show and stuff. But I definitely love what that movie says. And the cast in that one, again, huge, awesome.
Don Knotts. Don Knotts.
Oh, I
being the
forget
TV
about him. He's so
repairman.
great. Jeff.
And he
I always
drives
think
his
of
VW.
Jeff Daniels.
Yeah. That's a great movie. Yeah, Paul Walker's so young in that too. It's like every time I see that now, I just get sad. Like,
All right, you're making me want to watch it again.
it's a good movie. I watched it recently. I forgot how good it was.
Cody Walker and Ant Anstead and Chris Jacobs and a whole mess of people took a plane out to Bondurant the other day. Did you see that?
Oh, no way, did they?
Yeah.
Man, that'd be fun.
They went out to, I think, Vegas, right? Isn't that where Bondurant is?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
pretty cool. They took a whole mess of like Motor Trend hosts and car people and whatever. I think Purist
Wow.
Group.
Are they
and stuff was
shooting
there.
something out there? They gonna do like make a show out of it, or maybe some promoter trend?
Don't know. Yeah, this one seemed like it was more prep and or fun, but
Mm-hmm.
you never know. I mean, everything's worked in. Ant's new garage looks crazy. I don't know if you've seen it. They're already filming over there. Like
Wow.
they built a whole new space.
That's
It
cool.
looks really cool.
That's neat, man. Very cool. Yeah, I haven't seen
Neat,
it.
man. Thanks. Move along. You're a wonderful barometer. I need you. You're a great mirror. All right, next
We're
issue.
good.
We've got a few minutes left, but we didn't jump on the social media. Are we still
Let's
supposed
do
to do
that.
that, or is it another
Get to
time?
jump in unless there's no questions there to answer. I don't know.
No, that's my point. Like, I don't know. I don't know how this works. Are we supposed to post about that stuff ahead of time? Because I didn't do that.
Usually, yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, then we'll
It's
do that.
usually like, hey, live at 5 tonight. If anyone has any questions, let us know.
See, I don't know why I'm so daft at what should be very simple workings. Everything
Because
you just said to me makes
you're doing
perfect
all the
sense. Well, if you
complex.
want this, you need to have this first.
You're doing all the complex stuff there. That's why.
Am
I should have done that. I should have done that. Next week, I'll do that.
I'm very excited about the future, as I am definitely swimming up here because, like, we're trying to get to more outlets and figure, grow this thing now that we're, whatever. I definitely find myself not having as much of a grasp, and I don't have that much of a grasp in general. So I don't know exactly
would
what I'm trying to
disagree
say,
with that.
but say again.
I think you have a grasp.
Oh, really?
Yes,
All right, I'll take it.
you do.
Do you know what I'm saying? The
No,
button
I
pusher over
understand
here
what you're
typically
saying.
like, oh, everything's perfect and no one sees behind the curtain. I'm not able to
Yeah.
keep all that shit straight anymore. So like
Yeah.
you're going to see behind the curtain a lot. And I don't
Yeah.
care anymore. It's okay with me, but as long as
And you shouldn't.
my friend
Yeah,
at home
no,
knows.
that's cool. Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm
All
okay
right.
with that.
In that case, then we'll post for social media next. We'll do that the right way then, probably. You know what?
Yeah, let's
can we
do that.
Can we do a new segment though, since we have like a few minutes left? We've
Yeah,
been dying
do
to do
whatever,
the
man.
playset pop-in.
Let's do it.
The playset pop-in. All right, to my friend at home. The playset pop-in is something we created where essentially it's like knocking on somebody's door. We want to FaceTime somebody from the desk here, but they won't know it's coming. I know that seems like it should be
Surprise.
a simple... Yeah, that's the idea. So let's see. Do you have somebody in mind who to surprise pop in?
I don't know. Let's see what Ray Schaefer's up to.
Well, I'm curious if you did have somebody in mind, if because I have somebody I wanted to try, but I don't know that we'll get them. But I am all for.
We'll try him.
I was
See.
going to say I'm all for trying,
Let's try.
and then
I like the elements of surprise.
And then who
See,
knows?
I don't even know who this is going to be, so this will be good.
I don't know if I do either. Oh yeah, okay, we're good here. All right, phew. I don't know which number it's going to be though. All right, let's try.
It's Seinfeld, right?
I'm calling Jerry Seinfeld. Absolutely.
Cool.
Thank you very much. I'm going to put it on you just for a second so that nobody can see anything I'm doing as far as phone numbers. Just in
yeah,
case.
don't
And you
blow
told
up
me
his
the
spot.
trick here. I got to do 1+.
No, I think this could be fun. I mean, what are people doing anyway? Nobody's out doing anything. Everyone's at home because they don't want to have to wear a mask. So I think this will work to our favor.
Well, did you say 1+ and then, yeah, well, that didn't work. All right, so maybe we'll
I
just
think
try
that's
Ray
what we
Schaefer.
did last time. Yeah.
All right, you know what? Well, Ray Schaefer is already in here. So let's see if we can get him.
Oh, we'll see what's up with Ray.
This will be really something. I'll be really impressed.
Well, let's hope we're not interrupting his dinner or something.
Oh, now you say it.
Or watch him be like in the middle of the next fresh brewed and air cooled interview and we totally screwed up for him.
Can you imagine? That would be so great.
Like, well, we did have Vic Elford in the middle of an interview, but you cut us off.
We were actually having
Thanks a
Tori's
lot.
thing signed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. No, he didn't pick up. All right. So this is the type of thing. This is the type of thing that just doesn't always work out.
I mean, this could be an hour show right here, just trying to go down the call list and get people to answer. I mean, there you go. If you're looking for material.
I'm past my embarrassment. This would have, I mean, you remember, this would have blown my head right out of the water previously.
See, you're
and
getting better
nowadays-
about that. We're good. We're good. This is what happens. So, dude, totally off the subject, but I know you watch a lot of Netflix stuff. Have you seen I'm Sorry with Andrea Savage?
No.
Oh my God,
I did see part of the first
hilarious.
episode, and I wasn't loving it. I've been a fan of hers forever.
Dude, she is funny. I have a new lady crush, and it is Andrea Savage. Just so we're clear.
See, where have you been? Because I had that comedy lady crush 10 years ago with like Step Brothers. She's in Step Brothers.
Yeah. But I mean, whole other level here.
So
Just
it's this character or this show?
It's this character, like who she is in this, like her sarcasm. She's so crass. Like I was like, oh my God, this chick is awesome. Like she is. It's so good. And I was the same way. I watched like halfway through the first episode. I was like, do I want to stick with this? And then by like episode 3, I was like, oh, it's over. Game over. Like I'm watching this all the way through. So I just finished the second season tonight. Damn, I love her. She is amazing.
That's
such
really
a
good to
show.
know. All right. I will check it out.
So
It's more
I'll
than
watch
2
Days of
seasons?
Thunder and you revisit that. It's called I'm Sorry on Netflix.
But it's like there's 2 seasons of it already, right?
2 seasons, but they're only like 25 minutes long. So you get through them really quick. But holy shit, it's funny. I really, really like the show. Yeah. It was
Have
good.
you by any chance seen, speaking of, I think this is Netflix also, Spaceforce?
Yeah, I couldn't get through that.
You couldn't get into it?
No, not at all. Did you?
Oh, wow. We've seen half of it, but we plan on finishing it.
Okay.
But
I got
more
through like
on the
maybe 2
lines of,
episodes.
did you happen to notice anything in the first episode?
No. Did I miss
Like
something?
where Space Force is?
Oh, is it Angeles Crest, right?
Yeah, it's hidden
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
mountain at Angeles Crest, right where we always are like, right over the mountain there where you can't see. That's where they're buried in the governments and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
We
How
always
funny.
joked
Yeah.
about it, and literally,
Yeah.
he takes the little road and goes up the side there, and then the mountain opens up for him.
I did
So
notice
funny.
that. Yeah, I did.
So
notice
funny.
that. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know why. I just couldn't get into it. I think.
I don't think it's
part of
great.
the reasons.
I don't think it's great. I don't think you're wrong.
No,
but we're
it's
gonna
not.
finish it.
Well, and that the Will Ferrell movie. Did you see that one?
No.
It's Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. It's terrible.
No.
It was
No, and I'm
awful.
not trying to be judgmental. It looks like I've got other things to do.
You know what I watched instead of that movie because it was so bad? Was that 365 Days? That like Polish porno. Have you seen that yet?
No.
Oh, dude, there's some like hardcore porn on Netflix recently. It's weird. Like I
Under
clicked
the
on
guise
another
of
movie
art
called-
films or
I
foreign
guess
cinema.
so. I guess, but it's not. It's porn. But like the 365 is a little like it's not as bad. But there's another one because what I'll do is I'll look and see what's like the top 10 trending on Netflix. Okay, you figure that's a safe bet. Like, oh hey, enough people are watching this. This is good. So I watched this movie called Love, and literally within the first 10 seconds, and I'm kid you not, this guy's getting jerked off. Don't believe me. All you have to do is watch the first 15 seconds of the
This is
show.
turning
There's-
into your mom's house.
it's
podcast.
so bad. Well, and now it's like a joke. Like people film reactions of this movie. Like it's gotten that. So that's how that stupid movie got in the top 10. It's not because it's a good movie. It's because everyone's
the
watching the
algorithm.
first 15 seconds. It's the algorithms.
Yeah.
Totally screwed me. But yeah, there's some weird stuff going on Netflix. It's crazy. But
Wow. Who knew?
yeah, so go do that or don't. Doesn't
I have to
matter.
watch I'm Sorry.
Be forewarned.
And Days of
I'm
Thunder.
Sorry
again.
is the one to go for. Yes. Andrea Savage, holy shit, love her. Badass. She's so
That's
cool.
so
Yeah,
funny.
she's my favorite. But yeah, don't watch any of those other ones, man. Unless you're into that sort of thing.
Did we get to the thing? Even though the a couple of them were total busts and they didn't work at all, we got to all the things we wanted to get to today for once.
I think maybe we did. And it's actually on Tuesday. That's what I'm most excited about. Like
And
you
we're-
got the day right.
And we're even
Got the
almost on
day
time.
right.
If
Yeah.
it weren't for
And we
my
all talked
screw ups,
about-
we'd be totally
Yeah.
on time.
And
It's
we
my
only talked
fault.
about jerking off once. So I'd call that a win.
the whole point. I'm like, where are you, buddy? And you're like, hey, why don't you open up the thing? Oh, sure.
Right here waiting, baby.
Aren't you a picky one? Well, I love your apparatus there. I love that you've got your tech stuff all set up. I'm assuming.
Well, hopefully the sound went better. Like, let us know in the comments or whatever if we need to tweak anything. But it seems like it's better tonight. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we were pretty close. I think you got it. I think you've done some nice work over there, and your studio looks great. I don't know.
I still got more stuff coming from eBay. It'll get better. I do have a little. You see my little chaparral over here, like over there, up there, right there. My little Midland, Texas chaparral car. Yeah, got to represent where I came from.
Did that just
Midland,
arrive
Texas
this week?
In the house. Yeah, that came this week. Yeah.
That is so funny. I love the whole thing. All right, brother. Well, let's see. Let's say goodbye. Let's see. You are not here tomorrow. I'm going to be back here tomorrow, though. We've got. Do you know who Michael O'Neill is? Michael O'Neill. You may not know him by the name. Solopreneur podcast and/or Wrench. RENNCH.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Do you know?
I don't.
The Wrench in the Solopreneur Hour. He's got a bunch of car build projects. He's a podcaster up the wazoo. Like he's like a professional podcaster.
Awesome.
Like he does this stuff for a living and he loves it and he whatever. So we're gonna have a conversation with him tomorrow to find out how he does his stuff, what's going on with his builds, and we should have a lot of visual aids with that.
Info from him.
Yeah, he was up at. I can't wait to tell him about this, or talk to him about this. But he was up at Malibu Kitchen the other day, and you've seen this happen firsthand. I guess he parked his wrench car underneath the egrets in the tree.
Oh, no way. Oh, yeah. Yes, I have seen that happen. Oh.
I mean, everywhere. And luckily, it's a hardtop.
Yeah,
but the Auburn 3 years ago, Auburn Roadster was not a hardtop. That was brutal.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah,
you've seen it happen, so you know.
I have. Yeah.
No good. Anyway, so that's what's going on tomorrow. All right. So
cool,
I love you so much, brother. We love everybody at home. Please love one another. For Mrs. Ryan, who is on assignment, myself, and Mr. Tory Alonzo, this has been Late Night Playset. I'll see you later, brother.
See you, man.
Have a great night, everybody.